Hi, this is Cub Military Podcast. Good teachers don't retire. Good morning. This is one of those mornings where I really don't need news, or noise, or motivational quotes. I just need to remember where I came from and who taught me. And I learned leadership in the 82nd Airborne Division. And I learned from men who didn't talk about it, they lived it. And they lived it every day, and they remind me every day. I remember my First Sergeant Smith. Later on, he retired to Command Sergeant Major. He called me up one day and said, "Lewis, are you pushing that lawnmower or are you riding it?" That wasn't about my grass. That was about my own ownership. He wasn't asking, are you doing the work or are you letting the work do you? Because leaders don't ride, they lead. And they lead and they push when nobody's watching. He taught me that control was everything, not control of ego, but control of standards. If people didn't meet them, they went home, they were fired, not out of anger, out of fairness to the mission and to those who were carrying the load. That's how units survive, and that is how trust is built. And then I can remember my Colonel Heath Twitchell. Before he passed, he taught me something I still carry with me every day. Leadership isn't a volume. It isn't a rank. It's consistency under pressure. He showed me that calm is contagious, that preparation is a duty, not a suggestion, and that you never lower your standards just because it's uncomfortable. Some men, they lead the unit and they lose direction. And there's nothing to look forward to with these people. But I didn't, because these men didn't just train soldiers, they built men. Men who carried the standards into business and families and teachings into our lives. Someone's told me every person isn't airborne or a ranger, it's in the mind. And that's true. My Command Sergeant Major, he tells me that at least a couple times a week. So don't retire, don't fade. They don't die with the men who gave them what they have today, leadership and discipline. They live on how we work, how we lead, how we push the lawnmower every single day. And that's what they taught me. Take care. Have a good day.